What's up, comrades? I'm here and welcome to another video. And today, or well, not today, but last night, something fun came out. You want to know what that fun thing was? That's right. Gundam Build Fighters GM Counterattack. The short little OVA actually came out today. Or yesterday. God, I can't get my dates right. Anyway, you guys wanted more Gundam content. I'm gonna give you more Gundam content because I love Gundam content. It's fun. I love it. Good times. Fun to be had by all. So let's kind of go over the entire OVA and just kind of give my thoughts on it. Now, I should preface this by saying that if you have never watched Gundam Build Fighters, it might be in your best interest to watch that first before you watch GM Counterattack. Because, yeah, there's going to be spoilers for what happened in the first season. So, might be best that you go and check out that first before you go and watch GM Counterattack. Otherwise, you might be completely lost and not know anything of what's going on. Now that we've gotten that little preference out of the way, the story actually takes place, I think, about a year or so after the original series. Basically, the general premise is that the new stadium has been opened up and tournaments shall now continue. However, there's a little bit of a caveat and a catch. The GM in this title actually stands for Gundam Mafia. That's right. Or Gunpla Mafia, I think is what they were referred to. That's right. A criminal organization that was actually involved in the original series but barely got any screen time actually shows up again, only this time they want to take over the Gunpla tournaments and basically gain all the possible street cred they possibly can, considering how underground they are currently. The premise is pretty ridiculous and stupid, to be quite honest, but I don't really expect a whole lot from Gundam Build Fighters. And, well, to be quite honest, it actually works out pretty well. It's basically just a roughly 30-minute OVA that gives an excuse to make new mobile suits or new Gunpla to have run around on stage. And it's a lot of fun. The characters in the show are pretty much self-explanatory as they are part of the original series. You have Sayori, Riccardo Fellini, Mao, the Meijin Kawaguchi, China, and Niels Nielsen. That pretty much rounds up most of the cast. The villains are pretty much forgettable for the most part, and they really do not exist for anything more than a fight. There's no real, deep, meaningful development in it, and I can freely admit that. But there's some fun and silly moments just the same. The villains are, well, considering that they're mafia members, they're dirty cheaters, and, well, they're gonna do their darndest to win this battle against the world champions. However, even though that they think that they have things won nearing the end of the show, there is a surprise at the end. Now, I won't spoil that surprise for you guys because I think that it would be better if you watch it yourself. But let's just say that the surprise was something I didn't quite see coming. The animation in this show is, as always, very solid. All of the mechs are very well animated, and all of the battles and fights are top-notch, as always. Though they are a lot shorter this time around than they were in the original series, when the mobile suits are on screen, it's still pretty epic. Also, I would also like to point out that the character designs have not really changed all that much, although I think about a year has passed, most of the characters still look pretty much the same. Unlike their Tri-Fighter counterpart, which I think is 7 years in the future. So, if you are a fan of the original designs of the characters, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. And I can't talk about a Gundam show if I don't talk about mech design, so let's go over the mech design in this show and kind of just talk about what my general thoughts are for them. If I'm being completely honest, not a lot of them stand out all that much. I like the designs, don't get me wrong, but they aren't really, screaming like, buy this model kit right now. I think probably the closest one to do that is probably Mao's basically Gundam XX. I don't really remember what it's called in the show, but as far as I can tell, basically it's just a modified Double X. And it looks pretty cool. Of course, Niels Nielsen's Ninpulse Gundam, which is basically just an Impulse Gundam that looks like a ninja, is kind of neat, but the headdress is a bit much for me if I'm being completely fair. As someone who likes Gundam Wing and Gundam Wing designs Riccardo Fellini's new Fenice Gundam, again, name escapes me because they chose weird names, and I'm recording this only after seeing it the first time, so you'll have to forgive me. Then, of course, there is Sei's new Gunpla, the Star-Burning Gundam? I forgot what it's called. It's basically a Shining Gundam variant from G Gundam, and it's pretty fun. It looks very toy-like, obviously, and it's not something that I myself would probably buy, opposed to stuff like the Build Burning and the Denial Gundam, but it is pretty nice looking, and it has some charm to it. The one mech, however, that I'm actually very disappointed in is, of course, sadly, Meijin Kawaguchi's Amazing Zigak. It's pretty underwhelming. I mean, I like the Zigak. It's a cool mobile suit. But this is just a Zigak with much larger arms and a few more armaments. It's really nothing to write home about. Kind of lazy. I would have liked to have seen something a bit more, especially considering all the other mobile suits he's piloted have been, well, to put a finer point on it, amazing. Yes, I know. You can roast me in the comics for the bad pun, but I like his other suits just the same. Overall, this was a very fun and enjoyable little episode. It was basically like a short episode of Gundam Build Fighters. That's basically all it was, considering it's the only one that we're probably getting. It's completely fine, and also it does fill in some plot holes from Gundam Build Fighters Try as well, which I failed to mention, which is good. And for those of you who are big fans of, filling in some of those holes and plot problems, this one might be for you. If I were to rate this, I would give it a solid A. Go watch it if you haven't already. Of course, go watch Build Fighters first as well. Links will be down in the description. You can watch this on YouTube, so feel free to do so. Do not forget to also leave likes, shoot comments, subscribe to this channel if you're new, hit notification bell, share this video around so everybody else can see it. And as always, do not forget to raise your nerd flags high, and I'll see you next time. I will out.